I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything.
How we doing, vetters? Welcome. I got my internet fixed, so boom. We're going to be back to live streaming every once in a while. Yeah, excited to hang out with you guys today. I released a video early this morning, so that's kind of my due diligence already. And we have a very special, event tonight, right? Essentially on News Nation, where a brand new whistleblower is going to be coming forward, showing for the first time ever UFO crash retrieval video. You see, I did a lot of searching over the last few days, and there aren't any. All right, there's a few fake ones and this, that, but if you search UFO crash retrieval video, good luck. Right. So this should be interesting. This will be the first one. And when people go to search for that from now on, that's the video that'll come up. So I'm very excited to see this video and hear from Jake Barber. That is his name. He is alleging that, he found a white egg-shaped object that was later confirmed to him by ranking members of the UAP task force that it is non-human, right? Alien. Why are we messing around with these terms, right? Alien, right? He claims to have transported this white egg-shaped object, right? This spacecraft, I guess. I don't know, whatever we're calling it, UFO. And, as a helicopter pilot, right? And there's video footage of it. So I don't know, right? So we're going to see that and hear from him and hear from his story. There's other veterans that are allegedly going to be on the show. That's what I've heard. And they're going to be also kind of backing up his story, or at least backing up him. I don't know if the actual event, but definitely his story. So I thought, you know what? Let's jump on a live stream and just chat and just hang out for a minute. I can answer some questions. I have a couple videos I'm going to show to just kind of, get us ready for tonight. It will premiere on News Nation at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time this evening, Saturday, January 18th. And yeah, we're not that far away. So, all right. I'll tell you what, why don't I wait for some more people to kind of jump in before I play some of these videos, and I'll just answer a few questions before we get there. Devma says, traditions. Greetings from the Baltic Sea, Germany. Yeah, that is a tradition on live stream, which I haven't done in a long time, where everybody shouts out where they are watching from. I tell you what, I want to wait for a little more people to get in before we do that, and then we will absolutely do that. So I'm just going to answer a few questions here that are kind of popping up that I see. Why do you not talk about the Las Vegas case? What are you talking about? I've covered it extensively, in fact. Had Stephen Diener on twice. Remember, they showed the stuff on the show back in the summer. Hello. Yeah, covered it quite a bit. So, Matrick, I see you putting the same question over and over again. So anyway. But yes, I have covered it. What I recommend doing is, if you're like, hey, why aren't you covering this thing? Maybe go search the channel first to see if I've covered it before you start accusing me of not covering things, right? That would be. Now, if you're curious, if you're just asking out of curiosity, that's one thing. But I see that a lot. Oh, you don't cover this. You don't cover that. What are you talking about? I've done a daily video for close to 18 months now. I don't know how many months it's been, but 16, 17, 18 months. Trust me, I've covered literally just about everything at some point. Oh goodness. I like this. Where did that question go? Oh man. Okay. Chat's going to go faster than I can keep up. Okay, Patrick, how are you today? How's it going in general? Thank you. Thank you for that question. Let's start there, right? When you meet somebody, you coming in, hey, how's it going? How you doing? Just jump in, right? So I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing phenomenal. I hope you're doing phenomenal. And yeah, I'm in a great mood and I'm excited to do this. I have to be honest, having my internet fixed and doing these live streams, so it's not like I sound like Max Headroom on here. That's an old reference from the 80s, but for those of you that might get that, basically like a robot here, even though he wasn't a robot. Anyway, yes, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Ghost of Razgriz, hi from San Antonio, Texas. Did you live in Peru once or Portugal? Do you recommend living there? Why did you move? I've never lived in any of those places. And so I didn't move from there. I've lived in Mexico, America, and Spain. That's where I've lived. I've never been to Peru, but I've been to Portugal. This is a good question here, Space Baby. Vetted, you streaming it here live tonight? So I've been doing some digging on this, y'all. I don't know if I can actually just stream it on YouTube. It's going to be on cable. It's an hour long. I looked it up on the, TV guide, if you will, that kind of thing. It's an hour long piece. So with commercials, my guess is it's actually going to be more around, 42 minutes. Typically, they have like 18 minutes of commercials for 60 minutes, but that can change. It could be 40 minutes, could be 45 minutes. It kind of depends. But I don't know if I can technically live stream it. So you might see me live streaming it tonight. I definitely am going to drop a video directly afterwards, kind of highlighting it and talking about it. So I don't know if I'll be able to live stream it. If not, we might do some sort of watch party in our Discord tonight. So I'm trying to kind of scrambling to get that done. I should have thought of that sooner, to be honest with you. So if you want, what I recommend is joining our Discord. It's free to join and see kind of what happens tonight. I'm sure there'll be some sort of watch party or something, even if, everyone's watching it on their own, but we can all kind of talk to each other. But we're going to try to do some sort of watch party in there. If I can't live stream it, I don't think I'm going to live stream it, to be honest with you. There are just some copyright issues there. And I, yeah. So, but I'll definitely cover it directly afterwards. So I'll definitely drop a video late tonight after that comes out for sure. But yeah, and look, you can join the Discord, kind of hang out, and you're free to leave right afterwards, right? But if you want to kind of hang out with us tonight, feel free to do that. It's free to join and it's free to leave, clearly. Tony McSquareface. Some of these names are cracking me up. Hey, Patrick, do you believe this is the legitimate start of soft disclosure to the masses? What's your take? That's a good question, to be honest with you. It's a little loaded, but you don't mean it to be loaded. It's only loaded because of what I'm attaching to it, in the sense that what does disclosure really mean? And if we put soft in front of it, to the masses, like globally, I don't know. I get asked this question a lot, like, Patrick, what would it take for you to believe? Right? What evidence would you need to see? And my answer is always, I don't know. I don't know till I see it. You know what I mean? And am I happy that a lot more things are coming out, data points? Absolutely. Right? No problem. Bring it out. We can all decide on our own. Right? I guess my issue becomes is some of these people that come out don't want to be questioned in any way. That's a red flag for me. Right? That's kind of a red flag for me. They just want to come out and then go away. And it's like, well, wait a second. Let us ask some follow-up questions and what's going on, right? I think a lot of these whistleblowers that come out should do some live streams and talk to the people and get some, answer some questions. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think the onus is on a lot of these people coming out to prove their claims, not for other people to disprove them. That makes sense. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that people come out and tell their stories, want to show evidence, data, for sure. No issues at all. We can decide what to do with it from there, right? So, um, could you? Some people would describe it as soft disclosure, others wouldn't. It kind of depends where your starting point is. If you're already a believer because you've had an experience of some sort, right? Whether you saw a craft or you know an actual ET or you've interacted with the phenomenon some way, right? And you've kind of crossed that line into you actually believe this to be a reality. You're going to look at it differently. For someone that's doesn't hasn't had any of that, they might see it, maybe a different way. And again, it depends how deep you are into this topic too. So I think some people are going to argue it's some sort of soft disclosure, and others will not. Right? Um, that's kind of what this whole topic is. It's just your own journey, and I think that's fine. It's our own individual journeys with this. Disclosure will be decided individually. It won't be some mass thing, if that makes sense. Disclosure is an individual journey at this point. Until there is just some worldwide acceptance. I don't think this News Nation piece is going to create this worldwide acceptance of ET and, that sort of thing. Now, they do say that Jake, for instance, coming out tonight, Jake Barber, Ross Coulthart stated in a video that I released today, right? I put it in there. He stated that this is just the beginning. There's more people that are going to be coming out. Stephen Greer said the same thing on his podcast, right? Over the next couple months, more people are going to be coming out. So, I'm patient. Oh, geez. Sorry. Prove you were not CIA, NNSA, disinformation agent. What is NNSA? I don't know what that is. Prove you are not. Yeah, I can't prove a negative. You know what I mean? Good luck proving I'm an agent of some sort. No, I am not an agent, guys. My whole life is literally online. You can find everything about me. Such a strange thing to have nothing to do with this community for the longest time because I'm new to this community. And as soon as I got in, within months, people were accusing me of being CIA agent, FBI, disinformation. It's like, what the? Where does this come? It's just a world I'm not used to get those kind of accusations. You know what I mean? So yeah, I kind of laugh about it because it's just like, it's just strange. You know what I mean? If I say no, it sounds suspicious. If I say yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what to do. I'm not that, but that's kind of how things operate in this community. People just throw stuff at the wall, accusations at you. They don't care if it's true or not. They just want to discourage people from listening to you. Right. So it's kind of this weird tactic of, I had even content creators doing that, accusing me. Right. It's like, and they're the ones with inside sources. Right. So it's this weird thing. I should have even clicked on that. I pretty much just ignore that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. I just don't feel it's fruitful for the conversation. But at the same time, I get it. We live in conspiratorial land in this community, right? And it makes people a little paranoid, right, about everything. This person has probably turned to their mother and wondered if they're a disinformation agent at some point, right? If they had a question. Like, it's like people can't take just asking questions about things. It's like, have you ever lived life outside the UFO community? It's kind of how it is. Right? Like, what are we talking about? I just laugh. Strange Highness. Patrick, have you listened to or watched anything about the telepathy tapes? And if so, what are your thoughts on that? And does it mean to you about the nature of reality and consciousness? I have been listening to the telepathy tapes, and I'm super compelled by them. They're super interesting. It's a great production. I have spoken to Kai Dickens through text, and she gave me an email address to send to try to set up an interview. I have not heard back from them, but with that said, they're based out of California, right, in the LA area. They had all the fires, so I would assume there's something there that's kind of, gotten in the way, and totally understandable, right? That's a horrific disaster, what happened in California and LA and everything around there. So I'll be patient. We'll see if we can make that happen at some point. But yeah, I find it absolutely compelling. And there's so many people in the UFO community that find it compelling as well, and a lot of people in the vetted community that are super excited about it, love it, and I have to admit it is compelling. It is interesting, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, and it's just so well done. I highly recommend checking out the Telepathy tapes. I was compelled, even if you just look at it from an entertainment standpoint. It's very compelling. All right, let me get to a few of these super chats here. Jacob Freichenhan. Did I do that right? Freichenhan. Thank you, brother. Really, really appreciate the support. Fantomos Fanto. Join the Discord and match my donation, folks. It's a challenge. I have to go grocery shopping now. Support if you can. Oh, that's very kind of you. Fantomos. Really appreciate you, brother. Discord is free to join. And I appreciate the support, brother. And well, Phantom, I'm assuming you're male. I should have done that, right? I should have assumed your gender here. Appreciate it. Good luck on the grocery shopping. That's actually one of my favorite things to do, is go grocery shopping, surprisingly. Larry Quarthowitz, thank you for joining, brother. There's a link down below if anyone else wants to join and become a YouTube member. You get some perks. I don't even know what they are, but there's some perks there. I should know that, shouldn't I? Alien Frog. We will be learning about blue on blue firefights from Jake tonight, possibly corroborating Herrera and Jon Stewart. Thoughts? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you included possibly. So yeah, could possibly. I don't know how it corroborates. Essentially, I think that's going to be an individual thing, right? I wouldn't say it corroborates anything. Just their stories are on their own. And when they say blue on blue, that's just a whole military thing. I guess I don't really want to get into all that. But look, I'm excited to see Jake's journey tonight, right? And see his story and see this video more than anything. I think they've hyped it up a lot. So they probably shouldn't have done that. In my opinion, we were talking about this in the Discord last night, like under promise, over deliver. Right? Because when you overpromise, the expectations get set so high, you just have there's just a lot to reach to meet those expectations for people, right? But if you go in like, well, it's probably going to be nothing, and then you see something, it could be the exact same thing, but depending on your expectations going in, your level of disappointment or excitement is really based on that. So I think they should have underpromised and over-delivered, because if it's not just crazy, people are absolutely going to dismiss it. I'm not saying that's justified or not. I'm just saying that's sort of human psychology, right? If I tell you that, oh my God, you got to go see this movie. It's the greatest movie you've ever seen. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to be the greatest. Unless it's what that person sees as that going to see the movie, they will be disappointed, right? With the same movie. But if you tell them, it's all right, and then that person goes to see it, they just don't think anything of it. Again, they see the same movie. Now they may actually think the movie is better because they didn't have those expectations. So we'll see. We'll see for sure. I don't know if, we'll see. Costas, appreciate you. Everybody jump in on tonight's Discord. We're going to have lots of great conversation before and after Jake's footage. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I will say this. Jake, coming out has created a lot of discussion, and that in and of itself is a good thing and a positive thing, because it gets people talking about the topic. I see people going back and forth with it, on both sides, everything in between. And if anything, that's a positive, right? And it's helping bring the community together in a lot of ways. And I'm not going to be a hater in that sense. That's a good thing. I can appreciate that. I've been on overdrive trying to put out a lot more content than usual because there's just so much happening all at once. Jeremy Corbell stuff, this Jake Barber guy. You had the Randy Anderson on Jesse Michaels. You've had Dr. Greer and all his stuff. There's just so much coming out right now. I had planned to release a few interviews I had recorded this weekend. They've all been pushed back to next week because there's just all this stuff to report on, right? I've been doing multiple videos a day, which I don't do. But I just felt it necessary to sort of cover all of these things. So appreciate it, Con. You're the man. We'll see you in Discord tonight, brother. John Ratcliffe, just a shout out to say thanks. I watch your videos so I don't have to watch other people's videos because ain't nobody got time for that. Great summaries. I love it, John. Great attitude. You sound like someone I would have a beer with for sure. Appreciate you so much. And I really appreciate the support. We're going to keep the videos going, man. So thank you so much for that. I mean that sincerely. Ahmed. I had a great friend named Ahmed. Really, really great friend. I miss that guy. Worked with him in restaurants. I call him Ahmed, to be honest with you. Hamdi, thanks for all the great videos. Keep going. Wish you a wonderful 2025. Right back at you. Wish you a wonderful 2025 as well. We are starting off with a bang here as far as this goes, right? So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What's the saying? Salam alaikum? No, alaikum salam. Right? Is that how I should say it? So I hope I'm getting that right, Ahmed. I mean, no disrespect. I mean that sincerely. Andre Wright, do you think disclosure happens next week? What's up, Andre? Andre is a great contributor in the Discord as well as Khan that I showed earlier. Honestly, so many different people I could be calling out here. Do you think disclosure happens next week? Well, shit, it may happen tonight, right? That may be the thing. It may happen tonight. I don't know. Again, and I like that you put it in quotes because disclosure is like it has a Webster's definition term, but so many people have attributed their own definition to that term. So when you say it, depending on what that person that's hearing it, what their definition is, it's hard to be on the same page. It hasn't really been defined. The same thing with NHI, UAP, right? All these things. Yeah, they have definite, but so many people attribute their own definition to it. Will we have worldwide acceptance of the ET phenomena being real, or just, is that going to happen next week? I mean, if Donald Trump comes out and says something quite significant about the phenomena, yep, we know we're not alone. They have been to Earth and or are here. I mean, that 100% is going to send shockwaves and do something. But the next question people are going to ask is, okay, where's the evidence, right? You really need the scientific community, the political community, the financial community, the technological community, the art community. You're going to need all the community to get to sort of accept this and move forward, but definitely the scientific community, right, as well, needs to be a big part of this being accepted globally, and rightfully so. It should be that way. Thank you all so much for all the support. Y'all rock. Oh, I'm so behind on questions, but I'm going to try to get some y'all. What snacks did you get for the News Nation video today? I love it. What snacks? Yeah, I didn't even think of that, to be honest. Rob, what's up, Rob? Also a wonderful contributor to the vetted community right here. Shout out to Rob. At vetted Patrick, teasers are hyping me, but it seems like the more I'm reading, watching on the full story, the guy just believes he's recovered an ET craft once because it looks crazy. Fair take. I mean, that's a fair take for sure. Absolutely. I totally understand where you're coming from. Because he got confirmation that it was, alien years later afterwards. He thought it was crazy when they went and picked it up, right, with his buddies. He says that in the teaser, which I'm going to play. I'm going to play a couple videos here and we'll get to that. He did think it, and then he's told later. So yeah, that's a fair take. But, to play devil's advocate here, and I probably honestly quite agree with your take, Rob, to play devil's advocate, all the information isn't out yet. Right. So I'll hold all my judgment till after this comes out. I know people were kind of ragged on me for a video I made the other day when he first came out and I was asking questions. I was just asking questions like, this is what I hope they cover in the piece, right? That's it. I wasn't already dismissing the guy, for Christ's sakes. It was just, I was asking questions of what I hope they cover in the piece coming up, which is kind of my job here, y'all. Okay. So, but yeah, I will reserve judgment to see what's up, what comes out. You know what I mean? And even after it comes out, I'm probably going to just stay neutral on it, right? Until it's definitively proven about it, right? Because you can prove, okay, he is XYZ person, but it's always the fantastical parts of people's claims that can't be proven, right? Now, granted, he's got video to show this thing. It's at least something to watch, right? It's something. There are data points. And with that said, he did go provide evidence to Arrow and Sean Kirkpatrick. Again, I covered that in my video today. earlier this morning today. And they essentially, Ross is saying they lost it because John Kozlowski, the new director of Arrow, couldn't find it. And they talked about sensor data, imagery, right? Other things besides this video. So, other veterans coming up to sort of back up his story. Again, I don't know if they're backing up Jake or they're backing up the story and event, right? So I don't know. But it's always okay to ask questions, man, in my opinion. Kevin Kyle says, I think it's time we switch gears. We all 100% know that the UFO, UAP are here. It's just video after video about this. We all believe the focus should be who they are. What do they want? Well, I would disagree, Kevin, and I appreciate the support, but you use a lot of we. So you're speaking for everybody, and I'm just not a big fan of that, right? Now, if you said I believe and I think we should focus, that's different. But trying to decide everything for everybody else is just not going to work, man. Right? We all not only do we deserve the right to have our own journey about this particular topic and belief, right? It's, to me, essential. Right. So to me, there is no we in that sense, right? We all don't believe. But I don't disagree that there shouldn't be conversations about who they are and what they want. That's why I enjoyed the Cosmosis series. Shout out to Kelly and Kelly Chase and J. Christopher King, who put that series together. That's available on Apple and Amazon, all this stuff. Please go check it out. I did an interview with them that's coming out next week. That was their focus. They went past the point of asking the question, is this real or not? They went past that into, we believe it's real. Let's talk about who they are and and I appreciated that. I actually made me enjoy their series much more because of that, because they had a different starting point. But to just force that on everybody, I don't think that's fair, in my opinion. But again, I appreciate your opinion and I respect it. And I appreciate you asking the questions. But I personally don't like the we all believe. I don't, speaking for other people, essentially, right? It's an individual journey. Johnny says, are you looking forward to Project Gravatar? It's the VR experience of S4 as seen by Bob Lazar for those who aren't aware. Yes, I am very much looking forward to that. And I agree. I absolutely looking forward to that. Can't wait. Great point. Jacob, where can we see Jake Barber's psionics story? So if you watch my video today, you can see part of it. His whole story, that's kind of difficult. There's some information out there about a book potentially he wrote called Sentinels of the Ether or something like that, but it's fictional. But Michael Herrera's talked about that too. I think if you just look at Michael Herrera's story, because they are jointly connected, I think you'll find the same story. I mean, it would have to be the same story. It's not like it's Jake Barber's story, right? They're saying there's something real happening on Earth and they know about it. So it's not his story. And if it's presented that way, that should be a red flag. That's suspicious. But it's something they're both saying is true, right? So you can find more information about just Michael Herrera, is what he's told about psionics, which has been on Gaia, which I have covered on my channel. So if you go to Vetted and search, actually in my video that I think you can find all the links in there about that. But if not, you can just search Vetted Michael Herrera. You'll find different links about it. And I'm curious if they'll bring that up tonight, in fact. James Grover, bro, did you see the new tweet from Jake Barber and Green Street about a company he started? I think I did. It was like, Skywatchers. And so it turns out Jake was on News Nation like a few weeks ago or something promoting his company. So that's kind of interesting to say the least, for sure. And so now he's coming back on News Nation as this whistleblower. But yeah, he did go on News Nation before as promoting his company called Skywatchers. So I did see something about that. There's a lot of information coming out about him. I saw a picture of Jake, and he had a shirt that said fire department. He was on this chopper, and apparently he allegedly may have been a helicopter pilot for the fire department as well. Kind of like Randy Anderson worked for the fire department, right? Scott Hanley, thank you so much for the super sticker, Scott. Love this profile pic, by the way. That is beautiful, man. I love that. Thank you so much. Gabriel, welcome. Became a YouTube member. Love it. What is that? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Gabriel, thank you so much, man. Gifting 5 vetted memberships. That is so, so kind of you, brother. Really, really appreciate that. Muchísimas gracias, tío. All right, let's jump into this, y'all. Real quick. Let's do something real quick as a tradition here before I show a couple videos. Let's shout out. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna where you guys are streaming from. Tell me where you guys are. We'll get to more questions, guys. I promise. Let's tell me where you guys are watching from. I want to hear. Right, we got a global vetted audience, and I like to see that. So just tell me in the comments. I'm gonna read them out. We got Illinois, we got San Antonio, we got Lancashire, the Netherlands, New Mexico, Utah, Tallahassee, Sydney. What's up, Daniel? What's up? Shout out to all the mods, Chris, everybody. UK, Cleveland, Ohio, Cincinnati, Philly suburbs. Shout out Philly, 21st and Christian. Germany, Maryland, Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland, Ottawa, England, Cornwall, Chechnya, North Carolina, New York, Juarez, Mexico. UK, baby, Los Angeles, Texas, shout out Texas, Washington, Portland, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Lincoln, Nebraska, Amsterdam here, love it, Poland, Denmark, look at that, Delaware, Poland, Germany, Detroit, Michigan, shout out Detroit, Scotland, Pittsburgh, San Diego, holy cow, Indiana, Hoosier, Vancouver, Oklahoma, Iowa, Denmark, New York, holy cow, y'all. The Bahamas, Spain, España, vámonos. Ocala, Florida. Ooh, love Ocala. Silver Springs, baby. Ireland, Seattle, Rhode Island, Houston. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Seattle. What's up, legend? St. Pete, Florida. Columbus, Ohio. Holy cow. Belfast. This is awesome, y'all. Netherlands, South Austin, Austria, Denmark. Y'all see what I'm talking about? We got a global audience here. Right. So the phenomena is global. The questions about the phenomena are global. Right. The interest in this is global. And I love that. And that's honestly a big part of what keeps me in this, to know that this is happening everywhere. People have questions everywhere. Right. It's not just an American thing. It's not just a this thing and that. It's a global thing. Some might say an intergalactic thing. All right. Let me throw out a couple. Thank y'all for throwing those comments in. I got a couple videos. I'm going to show one and then I'll wait a little bit and then we'll show another. But let me show one video of, initially this whistleblower talking, right? Let's just get a little backstory on Jake Barber and his story. So let me bring this up. Yeah. And then I have a video of Ross Coulthart afterwards that I want to play. So, but first, let's go to this. All right. Here we go, y'all.
All right. UFO sightings the military can't explain. Congressional hearings, Pentagon whistleblowers, armadas of strange aircraft flying over, of all places, New Jersey. What does it all mean? Well, since last year's groundbreaking interview with whistleblower David Grush, News Nation's been out front on this story, and we've got another major exclusive. A new whistleblower is coming forward saying he's not just saying he's heard about a secret government program to retrieve UFO crash remains. He says he's worked on this program. He claims to have video to prove it and credentialed colleagues who back him up, and he has the attention of at least one senior lawmaker. News Nation's Ross Coulthart has been working on this story for more than a year. He conducted the interview for a special report airing right here this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And News Nation correspondent Joe Khalil is here with a first look. Joe, these are pretty stunning claims.
Yeah, they are, Elizabeth. The man you saw in the video, Jake Barber, he's an Air Force veteran, and he is coming forward with some shocking claims. The first person to go public saying that he actually participated directly in a secret military program that he believes was to retrieve UAP or alien craft. Now, Barber says he was contracted as a helicopter pilot. He retrieved all kinds of crashed craft. Some of it, he says, top secret and explainable. Others, he says, however, he believes were non-human origin. It's not just him. We've got 3 other military veterans backing up his story on the record and on camera to News Nation. So take a listen quickly to just part of Ross Coulthart's conversation with Barber.
So tell me about the moment when you realized that you were involved in a retrieval of non-human technology, alien tech.
So it became very clear the first time our communication process and procedure was modified. And then just visually looking at the object on the ground, you could tell that it was extraordinary and anomalous. It was not human.
How close did you get?
Well, I was a helicopter pilot and I operate with 150 foot to 200 foot long line. So I got within 150 feet of this object.
What did you see?
I saw an egg, a white egg.
Was there any visible propulsion system on it?
No, not what we did know. There's no engine, there was no thermal signature. I was operating at night when I finally came in to pick it up. So I'm working under night vision goggles at the time. And it was quite clear. I flipped them up, flipped them down, and looked at it a couple of different ways.
How did you know that that egg-shaped object was non-human in origin?
Well, visually, after seeing all kinds of things in my past, it was clearly something that was ridiculously looking. It's inconsistent with anything I'd ever seen before. I can also tell you that the reaction by my team, we all knew we were dealing with something extraordinary.
And at no stage were you ever subsequently told that the craft was of non-human origin?
I will tell you that during this process over the last couple of years, it's been confirmed to me by ranking members of the UAP task force that what we were working with that night was in fact NHI, and it was not a unique experience.
So, Elizabeth, Saturday night, 8 p.m. is that special that you can see here. They've also got some exclusive video of one of these retrievals that's never before been seen. We've also confirmed Barber has met with some high-level Senate staff. So a lot there, and you're going to see all that this weekend.
Wow. That's a blockbuster. All right, Joe Khalil, thanks so much. Yeah. And we can all watch Hunting UFOs, the Crash Retrieval Whistleblower, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, only on News Nation. Thanks.
Boom. Look at that. Okay. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, right? So there's Jake talking about it. Yeah. Look, I'm open to just hearing his story out, right? And hearing what's going on. I definitely have a lot of questions because that's just my nature, right? I just ask questions about things because I often just wonder, like, it was confirmed to him later it was ET, but what if it was a test or something? Like, I would want to know more. How did they confirm it's ET? How did the ranking members of the task force confirm it was ET? Unless they breached that egg and some, unless they cracked the egg, if you will. So I don't know. I don't know. Need to wait, to be honest with you, to get more information. I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair. So, Roars, love your videos, mate. Watch you all the time. Only a couple of quid, but appreciate you. Roars, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. You're the man. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And again, really, really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to some more questions here. And then I got one more video to show here in just a bit. But yeah, look, what I'm most excited about is seeing this, hearing definitely more about the story and the encounter, but seeing that video, I think, again, that's what everyone wants to see. Because again, there just is no UFO crash retrieval video. Again, try searching for one. You're just not going to find anything legitimate. So definitely tons of anomalous videos for sure, right? That can't be explained, but not a crash retrieval one. Amused Galaxy, what do you think about Jeremy Corbell's recent comment saying there will be a fake announcement of a large alien craft heading towards Earth? I made a video about this yesterday, and I'm glad he called it out. It's happened a lot behind the scenes to other podcasters and YouTubers to try to get them to believe that something like this is happening, right? You can get access to UFO personalities. You can, you know, then they make them do certain things, right? Like by telling them that, you know, this thing is coming, right? And it's a secret. Keep it secret. Only you and a few people know, right? And there's billions of people on the planet. So imagine how special you would feel if you knew a secret that could change humanity, right? And it's kind of a manipulation tool. And I'm glad it was called out. And other people are calling it out too. And I'm happy. I've, you know, seen evidence of it myself. And I've called it out before, actually. So I'm glad it got called out. And I made a video about it, where it originated from, you know, where that rumor originated from, who's been pushing it, all of those sorts of things, right? And so feel free to go check it out. It's on my channel. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's see here. Are you going to live stream the interview tonight, Patrick? No, probably not. We talked about this earlier in the stream. I don't think so, but I am going to release a video right after about it. But live streaming it technically is a copyright issue, right? It's on cable news. You can't just live stream stuff like that. There's definitely some copyright issues. Now, they may be cool with it, but I don't think I will be live streaming it. But you never know. If you see that live stream pop up, I may do it tonight. I don't know. We're definitely going to be in our Discord, kind of having a watch party about it. So I recommend joining the Discord. You can at least see it there with everybody. Again, free to join the Discord, and you can leave right after. No problem. No offense taken. But definitely join the Discord. Links in the description. A lot of veterans are going to be talking about beforehand, during, and after, for sure. This is a big event, if you will. It's kind of brought a lot of people together. I haven't seen people this excited in a while, to be honest with you about this. Maybe since the hearing and the David Grush hearing, right? It's one of those moments where everyone's kind of excited about something together. Hey, Patrick, it's Bill Carter. Oh, what's up, Bill? How you doing, man? I've got an interview with Bill Carter. Feel free to look at it online. It's on the Vetted channel. I like your assessment of what's happening and agree with it. It's very questionable. Right on, brother. Thank you so much, Bill. Glenn says, do you think the video is a retrieval of the egg, or is it something else entirely? Great channel. Well, that's actually a great question, Glenn. You know, they don't specifically say it's a video of that specific encounter. I would imagine, I mean, that's kind of what they're insinuating, but I guess, semantics, maybe it will be a different encounter entirely. And that's a fair question to ask, to be honest with you. I like that question. Imagine that egg is a giant version of an egg from Ridley Scott's Alien. Can you imagine? Yeah, that would be terrifying, to be honest with you, because that's where what are they called? The face suckers or face stickers or face something or other. Yeah, that would be crazy. Mads K says, question, Barbara could be one of Grush's 40 witnesses. That's true. That's a possibility. If so, Grush could still be working in the background. Corbell was on the phone with Grush in the new documentary, so he's still in the loop. Thoughts? Yeah, totally a possibility. 100%. Remember, Eric Davis has come out publicly in an interview and kind of stated that he's the one that sort of got Grush going on his 40 witnesses. So that would then in turn reveal that, Eric Davis would know this guy as well to some extent. So I don't know, but is that a possibility? Sure. I don't think we'll ever know confirmed completely who were all the witnesses for David Grush, but definitely a fair question to ask. Legend says, dude, Patrick, I love your style and shows, and especially live ed chat. So who do you think will win the Rams versus Eagles? Plus, who do you think will get in the Super Bowl? Oh, man, I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with football at all for months since I did my fantasy draft back in August, and then I never touched it again. I lost in my fantasy league because I just don't pay attention. I haven't even opened the app. I have no idea, man. I'm the wrong guy to ask. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Look, I lived in Pennsylvania for a few years near Lancaster, near Philly. So I guess I would pick the Eagles. I hope they win. But great question, my man. I'm sure other people in the chat could help you answer that for sure. I don't even know who's in it, Legend. But appreciate the support as always, man. Love you too, brother. Thank you so much. I wonder if the mainstream media, what's up, Deep Thunder here. I wonder if the mainstream media will pick this story up this evening and or tomorrow. Would that be proof enough for the masses? I mean, picking up a story isn't proof, right? So, but anyone saying like, oh, you're just showing this on News Nation, whatever. Well, to be fair, they show potentially in this special that's coming out tonight that Jake did go to Arrow like he was told, right? And did go present evidence there, and they allegedly lost it. So, you know, fair. That's fair to Jake, right? He went and showed the study, did what he's supposed to. It's not like he's evaded any of that and just doing it on News Nation. So, you know, again, I don't know, but it's a good question to ask, Deep, for sure. We got Peter Waticha. Thank you, Peter, for joining. Appreciate it. You're the man. UFO Netherlands says, ask your audience who believes in UFOs, answer yes or no. Okay, you've put that like 10 times, dude. Please don't spam the chat, y'all. If you spam the chat, it makes me less likely to click on it. And I didn't realize that, otherwise I wouldn't have clicked on that. Old Wrathgate Pat just became a Discord member under Mason P. Love the show. What's your fave JRE UFO interview? Fravor, Lazar, Grush, Lou? Ooh, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. I would say the Fravor and Lazar one are quite entertaining, right? For sure. The Fravor one might be my favorite as far as that goes. I know what you mean. I think so. You know, pretty compelling. But the Lazar one is also very entertaining, if I'm being honest. You know, whether you believe him or not, I found it to be quite entertaining. You know, you tell me, man, what's your favorite one? There's so many on there. And I've just enjoyed anytime they bring it up on the show, right, and talk about it. But yeah, I guess if I had to choose just one, I would say the David Fravor one, for sure. Great question. And thank you so much for joining the Discord, man. Look forward to seeing you in there, brother. Okay. Oh, man, I'm so behind on comments. My bad, y'all. Vetted, do you think one very credible video of NHI craft could make skeptics side of scientific community start digging for real the topic and asking hard questions on mainstream media? Sure. Absolutely. 100%. I think a lot of them want to investigate and do things behind the scenes. It's just politics, even in the scientific community, you know. But yeah, I definitely think it could lead to that. And I think as the years go by, you'll see more of that, to be honest with you. Right. And they'll classify it under different names, you know, UAP, NHI, right? I think some of these terms have come out to sort of help other people study it. So it's not UFOs and aliens, which I don't mind calling it that. It is what it is. But there could be a stigma. You could argue there's a stigma attached to those terms. So, you know, I can see the argument of this is a slow process, right? This is a marathon, not a sprint. Like, I get that. Okay. I truly understand that concept. And I can see parts of that argument. And to some extent, it makes sense if I'm being fair. So yeah, absolutely. There could be something. And great point, Stephen. All right, oh man. Okay. This is a good question here. What's with the pilot of the aircraft? Alive, dead, escaped? Yeah, that's what I would want to know. Was there a pilot to this thing, to this craft? You know, that's a great question. And how does the egg fly? Does it fly like egg up? You know what I mean? Or is it sideways moving? Could somebody argue that that's similar to the Tic Tac? Right? I know they call it a Tic Tac and it's like a propane tank, but isn't that it's white, right? Could it look something like an egg too? I think I would be curious to get David Fravor's response to this, what he thinks. That would be interesting, to be honest. Daniel put the link here in the chat, but again, there's also the link down in the description if you want to join the Discord, where we'll be talking about this like crazy today for sure. There is no question. Just want some. What's up, brother? Good to have you here. I wonder if the 3 people confirming his involvement are UAP task force members. Thoughts? Yeah, that's a great question. And I don't know. And again, I would ask on top of that, are they sort of confirming and backing up just Jake as a person, or are they backing up the event itself that Jake is referring to, this egg-shaped thing, right? Does that make sense? And or both, right? So I think that actually matters, to be honest with you. But either way, it's not just Jake. There are other people, so I'm curious to hear from them as well. Again, how much time they have? About a little over, maybe, about 40 minutes or so to go through it all, right? And because of commercials and this and that during a presentation like that, they're going to repeat a lot of information. So, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much is actually going to come out in this thing, right? And let's say they're going to show this UFO crash retrieval video. They're going to show the whole thing. How long is this thing? What snippets of it are we going to get to see exactly? There's a lot there. Won't know till it happens, but yeah, great question. Great question, man. Karen, who told you about Jason Sand saying he killed a blue alien? Shame on you for that. Very unprofessional of you. Well, I'm glad your name's Karen, because that is apropos. No, not shame on me. Jason gave me a shout out in the Julian Dory podcast and said I've been a friend to him through all of this. So why don't you go ask Jason? I've been very kind to Jason, actually. But again, Karen is the right name. Clarkness Maximus, question for Vetted. Tell us about your most profound experience that's ever happened to you, and what philosophies do you follow that helps you resolve existential profoundness? Holy cow. That is a great question. Too much to answer on this live chat, but that is a great question. Yeah, it would take up too much time here. And honestly, that's how you know you asked a good question. So I would say, I just, you're going to have to join the Discord and kind of jump in the open mic, and, I could answer it there or in another live stream or something. I don't mean to dismiss it, because I love that question a lot. It's a really good question. Okay. It's just too much. I would have to give a lot of nuance and backstory, and I do have a lot more to say on that, but it's going to take up this whole live stream. So, but I appreciate the question 100%. I mean that. Oh, Brookers. Yeah, good point, Brookers. Shout out to Brookers. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Allie. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Daniel. All my mods who help make the Vetted live streams and the Discord and everything. I couldn't do it without them. So shout out to all the mods. Really, really appreciate everything y'all do. I love y'all so much. It's goes beyond words. So thank y'all for all the work that y'all do here. Brookers, great point. Look, it's 1 a.m. UK time, 8 p.m. in Texas. And I believe even if you're in the UK, you should be able to watch it online on their website. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not sure. Someone in the UK could be able to say if you can see News Nation where you're at. I don't know. But great point. When does the Average Chris interview drop? Excited to hear new perspectives. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Again, I have 4 interviews that I need to get out, and everything just got pushed back because of all this news, right? I've spoken to Average Chris. I I believe I explained to him that it just kind of got pushed back. It kind of seems like just a little obvious. I think anyone that's waiting for my interview to come out, if they did one with me, kind of understands what's happening. It's just got pushed back. But yeah, everything will be coming out next week. Just kind of dripping it out here and there with these interviews. And I've kind of put a pause on the interviews, except for one with James Fox that I'm going to be doing next week. Other than that, I'm going to hold off so I can get these interviews out. And honestly, I'm going to edit them properly, right? So there's a lot of work that goes into these, and I've just been so busy. And yeah, it's actually going to be a very eye-opening interview about Chris, and he's a great guy, and I was happy to have him on, and I'm glad he came. And I agree, different perspectives. That's it. And new perspectives, like you said. Legend, dude, love your... Wait, is that an old one? Okay, my bad. Am I that far behind? Holy Patrick. My bad, y'all. 1250. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am definitely behind here, y'all. Let me see if I can jump up here and catch up. That's interesting. Doja Dog said, hey, wasn't Superman sent an egg? I think you're right. That was kind of funny. Yeah, and if you search like egg-shaped UFO, right? That's an interesting thing to do. You do find a few other stories. Lonnie Zamora, I can't remember this other guy that came out recently. The Lonnie one was white, but it did have other parts to it. And then this other guy that came out told about his father having seen a metallic looking egg. So a little bit different than what Jake is describing, but egg-shaped, right? Those are kind of search terms to use. Right, like egg-shaped craft. Also, a good search term is, UFO crash retrieval video. Right, you're always going to find UFO videos, but UFO crash retrieval videos. Good luck. All right, look, what I'm going to do real quick is play another video, and then we'll get back to some more hanging out here. All right, so I'm going to bring up one more video of Ross Coulthart, okay, talking about this. Again, he's the one interviewing Jake Barber. He's the one that has been, according to Lou and Ross, right, they've been sitting on this story for like a year and a half or so, kind of timing it out specifically for this weekend, right before Trump is supposed to take office. I'm 99% sure that was, the idea. But let me bring up this interview with Ross. I think we should watch, because look, he's the one that did all the hard work to bring this out, right? So at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about the story, he deserves some credit, all the credit for, well, some credit. I'm sure he worked with other people, right? But big credit, a lot of credit for helping bring this this story out, whatever you feel about it. All right, here we go.
Ross, always good to have you. I mean, man, big news, big deal to be on this podcast with Don Jr. My question is, if he's showing interest, can we take that to mean that his dad will take it seriously in his new administration?
Well, firstly, good morning, Marky, and I certainly hope so. I can tell you that we're earnestly hoping that through Don Trump Jr., we can basically let the president know that the UAP issue is a priority for many Americans. People have had a gutsful with being gaslit and being told that they're not seeing what they're seeing. They want answers. They genuinely want transparency. And I think we're at a point now where with these witnesses we've got coming forward this weekend, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're putting out a story where we've got multiple witnesses who are giving first-hand evidence of a retrieval program of, believe it or not, and I know this is confronting, alien craft. The allegation is that the United States has recovered non-human technology. And I know that's mind-blowing, but for many Americans it will be confronting, but it's real, and it really is real. And I've been talking now for 2+ years to people who work inside this program, and they're really frustrated. They want America to know about this because they're very excited about these discoveries, and they think it's time the public knew.
I mean, you broke this story, for us right here on News Nation with your sit-down interview with David Grush. You have another big special airing this weekend that you just mentioned. And I wanted to air a little bit of that because you recently interviewed the Air Force veteran. His name is Jacob Barber. He's the whistleblower who says he was the helicopter pilot who retrieved UAPs for the government. Let's take a quick listen to what he told you and what he saw.
How long have you known this secret about unidentified, anomalous phenomena being of non-human origin?
For more than 10 years. We did recover things that were exotic in nature in the sky, and we know they were classified craft. And we recovered them and took them back to where they go.
Now that is clearly technology that is certainly not known.
I got within 150 feet of this object.
We are not alone.
We are not alone.
I mean, Ross, wow. I mean, more than 10 years. What about his story stood out from the countless other interviews that you've conducted over the years?
It's his credibility. The man is a former Tier 1 elite military serviceman. He's worked at the highest levels of the US military. And in order to prove that, we spoke to colleagues of his who are members, or former members rather, of Delta Force, like one of the most elite military units in the US military. And they are telling us this man is an absolute straight arrow. He's decorated, he's well recognized, well respected, and more importantly, they corroborate. We have people who corroborate this man's story that he was involved in retrievals on a place he calls the Range. Out of respect to the government, he's not revealing exactly where that is, nor is he revealing the intelligence agency that he was an operative for. But basically, he's saying that for many, many years, he was working for a three-letter intelligence agency in the United States involved in the retrieval of alien spacecraft. And the incredible thing about this, Marky, is everybody shakes their head and goes, oh, this is nonsense.
Yeah,
it's
this is
tinfoil."
crazy. Yeah.
I know. And I thought that too when I first started investigating this, but believe me, it's true. And I find it absolutely incredible because people in uniform, people at the highest levels of the intelligence community are telling me it's time that America knew this secret.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, to your point, why would these people who are so highly decorated with, such impressive resumes make any of this up? Some stunning claims. Can't wait to watch. Ross Coulthart, thank you so much, as always.
Okay, there you go. Hearing from Ross. Yeah. We'll see tonight. Countdown is 6 hours from now. This will premiere, right? It's a 1 hour show on News Nation. I highly recommend people check it out. Again, I will be dropping a video directly afterwards about it. And everybody's going to be covering it and talking about it. And again, if you want, there's a link down in the description to join our Discord. We will definitely be having some sort of watch party or something, or, and lots of conversations talking about it. So we'll, keep an open mind here. Again, UFO crash retrieval video. I'm actually very excited to see that and see what it's all about. Now, Ross said something in that was kind of interesting. He said when he first heard the story, he thought it was crazy, right? And that's what you hear a lot in this community from people researching this. So that's why when people jump on other people who when they first hear the story, like, oh, that sounds crazy. Oh, you're being dismissive. Well, wait a second. These people also do that. Ross also thought it was crazy when he first heard it, right? James Fox also thought it was crazy when he first heard Jason Sand's story. Like, it's okay to have, certain reactions, right? We're all allowed our own opinion on this and our take on it, right? So if Ross also thought it sounded crazy at first, why isn't it okay if we think it sounds crazy at first? What's wrong with that, right? The stigma goes both ways, y'all. There's a stigma that, is said in the UFO community. Well, if you talk about, UFOs and whatnot and ET and the phenomena, you get laughed at. Well, you know what? In the outside the UFO community, but when you're in the UFO community, the moment you're a little skeptical or ask some questions, there's a stigma. You also get dumped on and get called a disinformation agent, debunker. You're disingenuous, right? Like, in my opinion, complaining about one stigma while actively engaging in another is kind of disingenuous and Now, if I'm being honest, hypocritical, right? Again, let's just be normal human beings. We all have questions. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just about being respectful about it. That's all it is. Being respectful. That's all you got to do. Which is what you'll find in the vetted Discord, right? There's a range of opinions in there, and let's just have a respectful conversation about it. It's not life or death, y'all, right? It's not life or death. We're just talking. That's all it is. Jax asks, how much stock do you put into Jake Barber's story if he is as connected to Michael Herrera and Greer as it seems? It's more, if he is directly connected with Michael Herrera, yeah, that worries me a little bit, because I personally do not believe Michael Herrera's story. Michael Herrera is probably the person I've investigated most on this channel, right? But at the end of the day, if I'm proven wrong, I will eat crow. I will come out and say that I was wrong. No problem doing that. But if I'm just going off my gut and what I've looked into, yeah, it worries me a little bit, especially if Jake is going to come out with the psionic element to the story and the black site stuff, right? And if you know Michael Herrera's story, you know that whole thing. And if that's the same thing, which he's talked about, right? Jake has talked about, yeah, that worries me a little bit, right? And I think there's other people in the UFO community. I mean, Leslie Kane gave an interview again in my video today that I released earlier today, late. Well, it was like early this morning. Anyway, you know, even Leslie Kane and was a little weary. Like, hopefully they just don't bring out the whole story, right? Like, you know, maybe not talk about that, because that may turn some people off. But, you know, at the same time, I say bring out the whole story. Let's talk about it all. If that's what he's claiming the truth is, then bring out the whole story, right? And we can do with it what we want. But if you think that that's going to turn people off, that should be a red flag. If there's parts of a person's story that you're like, that's going to turn people off, well, then that should be an issue, right? Let's hear the whole story. That way we can make the right assessment about his story, right? Because if we're only hearing parts, then how can we actually make an informed, you know, opinion, right? How can we have an informed opinion and make an informed decision about what we think about the story, right? If that makes sense, right? We need to hear the whole thing, then we can decide, right? And it's an individual decision, and I respect anyone's viewpoint about it. But great question, Jax. Legend says, haha, love you, dude. So what's your top 3 movies coming out this year? I love Legend, man. Always just boom, left turn. Let's take an exit off this ramp. Love you, Legend. Mine is Fantastic Four, Captain America. Number 1 movie coming out is Superman. Well, it sounds like you love comic book movies. Those all 3 sound pretty good to me, man. Definitely looking forward to Superman. Grew up on Christopher Reeve's Superman, and that sort of changed the game. So, and honestly, Man of Steel, I loved Man of Steel. You know, I loved that movie. That's probably my favorite Superman movie, if I'm being honest. So I don't know, man. Those are good questions. I don't really even know what's coming out, to be honest with you. But the Superman one, definitely going to be cool. All right. Hercule Holmes says, oh, sorry, let me bring this up. Hercule Holmes says, I expect the egg UFO to be a hoax. So much gaslighting and psyops last few years, but I bet a lot of folks here have seen UFOs in real life. It's real. Yeah, again, it's an individual journey, right? For each person to take on their own, for that very reason, right? I've spoken to experiencers and tried telling them the phenomena isn't real. You know, good luck. And I respect that, because if I had my own intimate, profound experience, I wouldn't care what other people thought about if they believed it or not. I would know what happened, right? And that's all that would matter to me. So I can understand that, to be honest with you. But will it be interesting to see an egg UFO video? Yeah, it will. Again, a crash retrieval. I'm curious what kind of video it is. Is it attached to the helicopter? Is it from inside, handheld? Is it, you know, from the ground? Is it Jake's video that he shot himself, or another video that he was given about it, right? Where's the video of them filming the egg in whatever warehouse it got taken to, and then they confirmed it's NHI. They confirmed it's alien. Where's that video? Right? Because unless you breached it somehow, I don't know how you determine 100% it's not made by humans, right? And alien, right? Even if it's displaying properties you can't understand, I don't see how you 100% confirm that. And that is a sticky part of the story to me, that ranking members of the UAPTF confirmed 100% that it is, again, alien. That seems a little odd to me, right? If they would have said it, we're 99% sure. That I understand. That I could relate to, right? You're so convinced, but just to go to that 100%, even if you said 99.9%, but it's that 100%, it's that absolute certainty that actually is quite questionable to me, if I'm being fair. Toxic. Oh, good gosh. Okay, I won't read that whole name, but hilarious. At Vetted, I believe Randy Anderson that he saw something, but they sell a levitating Death Star speaker and holograms have been around. Tupac hologram. Yeah, I mean, fair point. Fair point. Yeah, exactly. Randy Anderson is the whistleblower that came out on Jesse Michaels' show, right? And is connected to Jake Barber and Michael Herrera, right? These are all connected. These people are all connected, right? You can find certain, I'm not going to call out any names here, but certain content creators who are directly connected to all of these people and helping bring out these stories. So take that as you will, if that makes that more believable or less believable, but they're all connected in some way. And there is a thread, a thorough line, as we say, right? There's a thread connecting them. But yeah, and that's the issue too. Like, it's left up to interpretation. What if Randy, what he saw wasn't right? He just interpreted it wrong. And I think that's absolutely a possibility. And even with Jake, right? He thought it was crazy when he picked it up, right? But it wasn't confirmed. It was confirmed to him much later that no, that thing you picked up, it was alien, right? So I'd be curious what Jake asked for as far as evidence, or he just believed, that story from them, the ranking members of the UAPTF. And what does that mean, ranking members of the UAPTF? I'd like to know specific names, like who he's talking about exactly, that told him that. But yeah, definitely great question, man. And great point. Rob, appreciate you, brother. Look at this. At Vetted, my approach is rational skepticism and intellectually honesty, being respectful of others and keeping an open mind. Boom. Well said, brother. That should be the Vetted motto right there, brother. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Well said. Yeah, again, that should be the Vetted motto right there. Mike Kerr says, what do you think about the Nancy Mace lie about who gave her the Immaculate Constellation documents during the last congressional hearing? All right. So, yeah, if you're not familiar, on UFO Revolution on Tubi, Jeremy Corbell, part of the storyline through there's lots of different storylines, but it ends on episode 3. And a big part of it is who submitted the documents to Congress, right? Because during the congressional hearing, Nancy Mace says, thank you to Michael Schellenberger for introducing this documentation, right? This report. And Jeremy Corbell's like, wait, what? I'm the one that submitted that, right? And it's a big part of episode 3, and he calls it a big lie, and that it stands for something bigger. Now, I saw something on Twitter today about Eric Burleson allegedly saying, this is what another podcaster had said when he interviewed Burleson. He said he was told that they don't allow things in congressional record, like to be put on the record, that have any sort of like social media logos or anything like that. And that cover letter did have, like, I guess maybe some like Weaponized Podcast logo on it, and had the website on it, weaponizedpodcast.com. It was basically a cover letter to the report that Jeremy wanted submitted in as part of the report. But why couldn't they just pull that off but still give Jeremy credit? Right. So that's kind of an interesting statement. That doesn't make sense. That could make sense for why the cover letter didn't go in, to the record. Okay, but why didn't Nancy Mace say Jeremy gave me this document when he, clearly proves it in the video? Is it something small? Maybe. Is it something bigger? Yeah, could be, right? There could be something more behind that. So I totally understand Jeremy's frustrations. People were really hating on him on Twitter about it, but I think if you're him and you worked hard, if you try to put yourself in his shoes, maybe there's something more there. I don't know, but I don't see that as an excuse for being why Jeremy wasn't given credit for putting that into the record. And to some extent, I understand. Right. So I'd be curious to hear Nancy Mace's reaction to all that and what's the reason it was given to Schellenberger. Now, Schellenberger was the one testifying about it, so maybe that's why. Like, it would be, hey, this guy that's testifying, he's the one that gave me the document, instead of bringing up Jeremy Corbell and why he got the document, right? Maybe they were worried about that. I don't know, right? But Tim Burchett did say, that he got it from Jeremy Corbell, right? And Jeremy Corbell is the one that took in the Immaculate Constellation author of that report, right, secretly into some meetings to meet these congressional members, so they know who he is, right? And it was kind of cool that, like, Jeremy snuck him in with the camera crew that he was filming with, right, for the show. And it actually got me thinking. I bet that whistleblower was at that hearing. I bet he was there. I bet he's in the room. Probably as somebody else. Could even be sitting very close to Jeremy Corbell, in fact. Closer than you think. Now, I don't want to... That person deserves protection, and if they're not ready to come out, I'm not ready to call them out. By no means. I would never do that. But very interesting. Could have been there. Could have been actually there at the hearing. So, I don't know. Something to chew on. David Archer, my stepdad worked at Crane for SOCOM, with a wink. Wink. Yeah, David, I hear this kind of stuff a lot in comments and YouTube and this and that. I've got sources that say this. I don't know. I'm sure he did, and that's cool. But without evidence, it's kind of like, well, I don't know what to do with that information, right? And if you look up Crane at SOCOM, they just work on stuff. They're actually pretty open about some of the stuff they work on. It's not really that big a secret, right? So, but sure. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, here. Let's see. Hang on, y'all. I gotta catch up on this chat here. This is what's hard about live streaming, y'all. If you've ever done live streams, it's just trying to keep up with the chat. Any other content creators out there that are watching, like, I just miss. Sometimes I'll do the chat, and then afterwards, people be like, "Did you see so and so was in the chat?" I'm like, "Damn, no, I didn't see that." There's so many people. I don't know. So if there's anybody that's come in, I was supposed to know. I don't even know. I can't see. I don't know. I need a better system to see it all. To be honest with you, for sure. So look, we're coming up on an hour and a half live stream, so I'm going to cut it short here. So I got 5 more minutes. I'll just basically take a couple more questions, and then I'll tell you what it says. Yeah, I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then I'll see everyone in the Discord. At Vetted, where do we stream the interview? I can't find a link anywhere. It's not really necessarily a link. It's going to be like on the new, on cable. So, you're going to have to find out your local service cable provider, and do they offer News Nation as a station, and watch it that way. So it'll be live with commercials and everything. I'm sure afterwards they'll post it on YouTube. But initially, it's going to be, live on TV. I think you might be able to watch it online if you go to News Nation's website. What you can do is search, go to Google and search how to watch News Nation online, right? And I guarantee it's going to come up, kind of give you the clues there. Gem Girl says, Patrick, you should have someone that looks at questions for you and sends you good ones. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's hard. Hard to get people to jump on a live stream with me sometimes, especially I kind of put this one together last second. So, Brooker says, gotta go, mods. Thank you, Brookers. Really appreciate you. I'm jumping off here in just a few minutes myself. So, thank you so much. Chameleon says the Schellenberger interview wasn't streamed live on News Nation YouTube channel. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll stream it on their YouTube channel. That's possible. But they're definitely, I saw it on the TV guide, like on my cable system, and I could see it's set. It's a 1 hour show from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central, right? 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, U.S. time, of course. So we'll see. But I'm definitely going to make a video right afterwards, for sure. That without question. Jeff Malo says, when are you going to be back with Night Shift? I don't know. Everyone's been so busy. I haven't talked to Clint in a minute, but I know he's cranking out stuff. He's busy too, so I'm sure at some point that'll happen. And I want to have Clint on here, to be honest with you. Great show. If y'all haven't checked it out, go check out Night Shift, y'all. Great show. Great channel. Clint's a really good dude. Yeah, Heiser. Thank you so much, Heiser, for this one, man. Shout out to Heiser too. Damn, dude, I think I forgot to mention you earlier, Heiser. My bad, dude. Heiser is an amazing mod. Just an amazing person. Shout out to Heiser. Great dude. Thank you for everything you do, Heiser. Heiser, it says the interview is called Hunting UFOs, the Crash Retrieval Whistleblower. So search that in 5.5 hours. Yeah, right on. Absolutely. If you have the News Nation channel, you'll see it on the TV guide or whatever, like I said. Jake has posted a few more tweets. One that the handle to Skywatcher. Okay, well, there you go, Mark. That's good to know. That is good to know. All right, y'all. I am going to bounce out. Feel free to join me in the Discord. It's free to join. There's a link down below. Please join us if you want. There will definitely be a watch party of some sort in there tonight to watch it. So if you're kind of confused on how to watch it, I'm sure joining the Discord, you'll be able to see it with everybody and kind of talk to. So I don't think I'm going to be live streaming it on the show. There is a potential. I don't want to say, 100%, but there's a potential I do live stream it, but I don't think so. Okay. Because I am going to drop a video about it right after. So we'll see. Oh, yes, Daniel. Good job. Make sure to check out our new Clips channel. Absolutely, guys. Go. There's a link down below, too. You can subscribe. I would love it if everyone could go subscribe to that channel. It's a secondary channel we have with a bunch of just different stuff from our interviews and additional, clips from Vetted, basically. Really appreciate everyone that has gone and subscribed and supported that. It's a big deal and a big help to Vetted, to be honest with you. And Daniel is been handling all of that. He's been putting up all the clips, doing everything, doing all the hard work behind that. So Daniel deserves all the credit there. No worries. Yeah, you did spell it wrong, Daniel. I see that. Coom, youtube.com. It's like you put your Australian accent on it. That's why you spelled it phonetically with your accent. Here we go, Daniel. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, there's a link down below too to click on it and you can go subscribe. That would really help out. We really appreciate it. Where subscribers are going through the roof over there. So, started with nothing and then within a matter of weeks we're popping off on there. So really appreciate all the support. And that's what I'll end on. I really appreciate all the support, y'all. I couldn't do this without y'all supporting the channel, supporting me and what happens here. Thank y'all so much. It honestly, again, I couldn't do it without y'all. Right. So I'm immensely grateful for the support, for what we do here. And it makes me want to work that much harder to get out all the videos, do all the research, try to take in all the information and digest it down for y'all to take it in, because I know everyone's got busy lives and what they're doing, and this is my job. So my job is to help you guys with that and present it in a fair, objective way. You can make your own mind up. Sometimes I get things wrong, but I'm not perfect, right? So I really just appreciate all the support. So anyway, we'll see you guys in the Discord, and look forward to that video tonight after the premiere, where I will break it all down for sure, of what this is going to be about, right? UFO crash retrieval video, Jake Barber and his story. Look forward to it. So love y'all so much. We'll see y'all soon. Peace out, y'all. Remember, every day's a gift.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me